Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never role-played before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Great Wizard Bukake, your host. Our heroes have solved a mystery, and Assguard isn't at war yet. Quinny managed to keep his secrets inside a mass zone of truth. Juniper rejoined the party and told everyone she was a werewolf, but no one made a thing out of it. And Butthole laid out their findings and convinced the foreign envoys. But what will they have to do to win over Sembia and make Assguard truly safe? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Dum-Dums, you have managed to temporarily satiate the envoys from the Lord's Alliance and from Vassar in the murder investigation of Longadon Geese and the disappearance of Raish Grey. You still, however, need to be vouched for by a neighboring state in order to qualify for non-annihilation, I guess. That's a bunch of double negatives. Cormier really needs a local group to vouch for you, preferably one that isn't called Vassar, because Warlock Knights and Cormier, not the best of pals. And thus you're left with Sembia, who has come on behalf of the Lord High Governor, Thamelon Uskervin III.
I'm sorry. A Thamelon?
Thamelon Uskervin III.
Thamelon Uskervin III. Okay.
Yeah, whose name you haven't heard yet, but now you just have it. Who needs help in Selgaunt and has sent Kiran Bashkara to ask for your assistance. He has, and you did generally offer some assurances of that. However, you needed to get through the show of art and culture, as well as the development of your laws first. And then there was that whole murder investigation and, Quinny's big night. But now that we've sorted all of that, it is time to finally deal with Sembia. So, King Butthole, you have summoned Kiran Bashkara to the throne room after the rest of the envoys have left. He arrives rather quickly and is a little edgy. You can see that, unlike a video game NPC who gives you a quest and then is just cool if it's like, quick, Link, we need to go do this. And then Link just fishes for 5 years. And it's like, that's fine. He's kind of like looking at his pocket watch, knowing that he has to get back and a little bit concerned. But of course, as soon as Annan announces him, he's all back to business. And he enters and he bows low and he says, King Butthole, I am honored to be in your presence again. Can I assume that this summons means that you have decided to come to the aid of Sembia?
Yeah, that's the plan. So we got to help you out. It sounds like you got an undead problem. What do you need?
Well, the undead gone is kind of the concern as of late. And I understand that with your various powers, you were able to end the greater undead problem, as we previously discussed. So we are simply looking for some assistance in this. The Silver Ravens, who do take care of Selgaunt, are perhaps up to the task, but the Lord High Governor was somewhat concerned that their numbers might be severely depleted, whereas great heroes such as yourselves could make fast work of these undead monstrosities that remain in our streets.
Okay, how many undead are we talking about?
There are many. We haven't counted them.
Does that mean like a couple hundred, or are we talking tens of thousands?
Oh,
or?
No. Closer to the 100 count, I would say. They are incredibly strange, my lord. Unlike the undead hordes that had descended on us previously, these ones, well, I don't quite know how to say this without sounding a little bit daft, but they seem to just be kind of going about their business. They've infected all manners of place. They are all over, and when approached or harassed, they go, pardon my language, ape shit, and completely attack and explode anyone who attempts to interfere with them in their processes.
All right, well, yeah, that sounds like it'd be really annoying.
Can I just ask the question, what are their processes, and is it necessary to interfere with them, if that's kind of the problem?
Chief Justice, may I ask, do you like the idea of living with a bunch of bombs that just walk around and do stuff? Just walk around being bombs?
No, I wouldn't.
Well, nor do I, nor do the fine people of Selgaunt, and yet that is how we find ourselves living with these undead explodey boys.
All right, so how far away is Selgaunt?
Well, Sembia, my friend, is a little bit of a ways. It's going to be a few days' trek for y'all, I'm afraid. You will have to travel to the southeast somewhat. Through the Dale lands is the fastest. I assume, given your present circumstance, avoiding Cormier might be the right call. So I can give you some directions, a map. There are places along the way you'll be able to take refuge, have a little break if you need it. But Sembia's on the coast. Selgant, of course, is a merchant city on the very southeastern edge.
Okie dokie. So we can get instructions. We can make our way there. We'll talk to the walking bomb people who also seem to have jobs. And then we'll get this resolved for you.
Well, thank you. Lord Governor Uskavin will be very, very pleased to hear that, and will, of course, vouch for you in front of these fancy folk from the Sword Coast.
That's great. Can we get like a letter from Governor Uskavin saying that we've been asked to do this job, just so the locals don't think we're showing up as some sort of foreign mercenaries smashing stuff?
He sent me specifically to ask for your assistance, so you are expected, or rather, I should say, hoped for, given your lack of appearance thus far. And my lack of communication back, given the great distance.
Yeah. It's been a couple of days, but, don't want to get massacred. All right, so let's switch that from hopeful to anticipating our arrival. We're going to do this.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I can't communicate that at this great distance. One would need some kind of thaumaturgical cell phone or some such nonsense. The flight's a fancy one only hears about in books.
Yeah, those don't go far enough. We can send a bird with a note strapped to it.
Well, the governor's falcon Honeylass II could encounter that very bird and deliver the message itself.
Oh, so the bird's going to die if it delivers the letter.
No. Honeylass is incredibly well trained. It can, if it sees a messenger bird, it'll just pluck that little note out, just put it in its little talons, and just fly it right back.
Okay, that's incredible. Can we meet this bird if we do good?
If you meet the governor, you would have a hard time not meeting Honeylass. Honeylass goes wherever Lord Uskavin goes.
Amazing. Okay, we'll pack our stuff and get going ASAP. If there's any other information we need, is there?
He pulls out the sort of map of the region, gives it to you, and you can see he's kind of plotted a pathway for you. It'll take you sort of down, again, sort of southeast, map-wise, kind of almost on a diagonal. There is an abbey along the way, the Abbey of the Golden Sheaf, that he says will be a good place for you to stop and rest. That'll be safe, and you'll be able to kind of reload there and have a little bit of a break en route. It's the Dalelands and the mountains are not. They're inhospitable in the way that the wilds of the Forgotten Realms tend to be. There are monsters wandering around. There are like various factions that live around there. So it's just like if you need a safe place on the road, that's a good spot to stop. You'll be looking for the River Arkan, which is on the other side of the mountains, which are the Desert's Mouth Mountains. So once you get through the Desert Mouth Mountains, you'll be looking for the River Arkan, which will take you past the Abbey of the Golden Sheaf, and you can basically ride that river all the way to Selgant. You'll also be passing.
So it's Desert Mouth Mountains.
Yep.
Then we take the river, and that'll take us past the Abbey?
Yes. So the river will take you through the Dalelands, which are a bunch of city-states or loose groupings of villages and other things. So a bunch of kind of vaguely territorial, loosely held groups into Sembia and then down through Sembia to Selgant, which is on the coast. And the Abbey of the Golden Sheaf is in the Dalelands and is a nice sort of hospitable to strangers place to stop along your way that he suggests that you stop at. Beyond that, he just recommends like the Dalelands are a politically complex place in their own right. They're more locally complex than globally complex. It's not like the Dalelands are out there trying to fuck shit up with the likes of Damara or anyone else. But there's a lot of territorial stuff that happens within the Dalelands. So it's kind of one of those like, just be careful where you're going around there because you don't want to get embroiled in a random local like turf war. Yeah, and then you're as I said, you are expected in Selgant, so your arrival there will be greeted warmly. They already have rooms and stuff set aside for you, so it's really just a matter of getting there. This is a sizable journey, though, in terms of the distance. So you guys can make pretty good distance on foot these days, but you'll have to determine kind of how you want to travel, if you want to pack stuff up, because we're still playing Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm going to make you guys travel as normal people for a while because you've had to be kings, queens, and lords for a long time. So you'll have to figure out what you want to take with you. It is a long journey. It's going to take a few days. Your big respite will be halfway there at the Abbey of the Golden Sheaf. Otherwise, you've got some camping ahead. And obviously, the mountains, there are pathways through. These mountains get crossed quite frequently. It's still a fucking mountain range to get across, but it's not like you have to climb the mountain. There's pathways and stuff that have been kind of blown out through them and that sort of thing.
The only thing that Juniper really needs is her sword, and she'd really like it to be done at the forge.
Be ready.
Be ready. Be fixed. Is it ready?
It is.
Yay! I'm so happy. Okay.
So
Happy.
I mean, I understand. Like, we're going to go deal with a bunch of undead and travel dangerous
I'm just
desert
like,
wasteland.
please,
It'd be nice
please
to have
Please don't leave me
your
without my
sword.
big sword.
Yeah. I completely understand.
all right. So Kieran is going to remain here because it's like half hostage, but also like it would be very strange if everyone's like, we're all going. Goodbye. So he'll remain here. He's giving you good directions. The map is pretty clear. You'll have to just figure out what provisions and things you want, how you want to travel, whether you want to bring like, do you want to recruit a new donkey? I don't know. You tell me. But figuring out kind of how you want to travel. I would say traveling light is probably the order of the day here, given that it's a long distance and also you're not really an official delegation so much as like heroes for hire in this particular regard. So it'll be up to you. You can make the argument for hammers and stuff if you want, but that's not really the vibe.
No caravan of hammers going down the river.
You can try. Other than that, I'll leave it to you to how you want to prepare, and then Bucky will arrive with a sword momentarily.
All right, well, if you're asking me, I think Reginald's got to stay because we need somebody who is the heir apparent in case we all die.
Okay.
Well, I like staying, so cool. Perfect, we got that sorted. The rest of us got to go because
Yeah, I get it.
it's undead, so that's kind of my deal, and our other clerics we're short on clerics. Spoilers.
Yeah.
We got you guys. I don't think there's any... Okay, here's the deal. Normally I would just go with the three of us, but that's kind of feeling a little bit hubristic in terms of we're leading a nation where a lot of people think we tried to destroy the world, and we convinced the 7 here, but we kind of had backup in terms of those envoys.
I don't know if it's great optics to be just us all just like being like, hey, passing through. Great nation and bye.
We also don't want like a ton of people, but I'm thinking like we take like a squad. We don't actually need them to do anything. They're just there to like travel with us on the road, so it's not just 3 people.
Okay.
Because we need like official credit for doing this,
Yeah,
but we don't want to seem crazy.
I get it. So, who do we like? Doc Huckleberry, he made it through the Aka insertion or whatever you would call it. But
That's true. We got him. We could bring Crendon with a squad. We could bring.
yeah, Crendon could be good.
Well, Crendon's a general now, though. No, Crendon's a captain. Yeah, Crendon's a captain. Crendon's a captain. Scout captain. Nailed it. All right, we got there. Bite force.
Yeah, Bite Force, that's right.
Okay, so we could bring Crendon because he's a scout. So you bring scouts and bring like 10 people. I don't know, something like that. Or we could do Vismuth. Who are you feeling? Doc Huckleberry? He doesn't really know the hammers, but he'd still be fine. I like him.
I like that I don't really know him that well, and I won't miss him if he dies.
Oh, so you're thinking they're fully expendable?
I mean, I'm thinking he is. I think that's, a plus for him.
Quinny, are you pitching we murder Doc Huckleberry on this
No,
journey?
I'm
I don't want to
saying-
bring people who can't survive. That's terrible.
Well,
we
I
don't
think-
allow the death penalty legally in this nation.
I think he's proven that he can survive. But I also, I wouldn't be too bummed out if we lost him, He just hasn't made a big impact on me.
Juniper, how do you feel about the idea of bringing someone because we're cool if they die?
I morally, legally object.
All right, prepare to get
to
your heart
that.
broken.
However, he is a good fighter. Right? I
haven't left, but I do want to point out that I needed an attendant/butler, and that's Doc Huckleberry. So you can't have my special friend.
I mean, I like Crendon. I think Crendon's capable. He helped us evacuate Quinn Town, but
maybe he can help do some training on our rests, or
honestly, like we could just bring him. It feels like he's kind of figuring out his own vibe. He seems capable.
Yeah.
Okay. Crendon plus squad assigned by Vismith and Reginald because we don't know who's good.
Yeah.
All right. You got that, Reggie? Okay, I'll get it done. I'm pretty handsome, after all. And handsome Reginald leaves to go collect the people we need. He'll be very good at convincing them because he has advantage on charisma checks.
We can just say they agree.
But they double agree because he has advantage on charisma
they're
checks.
eager. They're excited.
Nod twice.
So as handsome Reginald goes to collect the crew, Juniper, you hear an eager pounding of footsteps coming up the stairs. And who should arrive but Bucky with your sword?
Chief Justice Juniper, I have your sword.
Oh, wow, Bucky, that was fast. Thank you. Did they want anything in return? I know it was a little bit vague.
Well, I said I could, work off the debt,
No.
and you told me not to.
Yes.
So I said I would do that, but the Chief Justice said I'm not allowed to. And then when I said something about the Chief Justice, they all really kind of like really, really got to work really, really hard and just said, here you go. So I don't know what happened.
So that's it? That's nothing more said?
As far as I'm aware.
No, you requisition a weapon from the forges of Akka. They know what that means. It means do it very quickly or die.
Bucky doesn't know what that means. But,
Wow.
yeah.
Thanks, Bucky. I mean, great work.
You're welcome. You're doing great, too.
Thanks. Juniper she wants to handle the sword and test it out. Just give us some little swishies, put some little divinity
Little
in it.
swishes.
Little swishies.
Yeah. Is that the new name of the sword after it's been reforged? Damages resurrected
becomes
as
little
Lil Swishies.
It's just Swishies, and then she can choose the size or shape of the Swishies being given.
All right, so you give it some little swishies. And Juniper, it feels
What
great.
do you do with the sword?
It's very
Nope,
well
you're correct.
balanced. They've repaired. It's got a bit of that sort of like gold filling style rebuild on it. Like you can tell that it's been shattered and put back together.
That it still has its blade of walls properties.
It does.
Oh
yes.
my
Yeah,
gosh,
no, they're very good.
Leanna's amazing.
They made war for generations. They know weapons very well.
Lovely.
So Juniper, I'm going to give you 1 point of inspiration for having your sword back. It just
Yay.
feels good to have the weight of it.
Yeah.
Again, it's a bit of a comfort. And
To get through all the other packing business that Butthole will do, requisition Reginald's glamping tent so that we actually have a tent that can house us all without requiring a shitload of shipping, and horses, the good horses that are
Yeah.
attached to the castle. We don't need to walk everywhere.
Yep.
But hammers themselves, no Akka uniforms, none of that bullshit. They're just generic armor. Just generic them up so they look like adventurers and they travel with us with Crendon. Then it's like enough supplies to get there and back. We're not trying to make a holiday of this. It doesn't require anything fancy. For Butthole, he would love to do some more generic armor, but he does have new adamantine armor that is better and more appropriate to his kingly status. So he would have a robe put together, which again pushes him right into that weird Santa Claus zone of a big furry outfit that covers the armor completely, and then he can stick to the band or lose the band. He's not bringing a fancy crown. He doesn't need
sure.
it.
Cool. Quinny, what's your traveling getup?
I think it's going to be pretty light and standard stuff. He's going to trade out, the Ushanka that he was packing, his nice, like, warm, fuzzy hat for all the colder temperatures. He's probably going to leave that here in Akka, in Gary's old apartment, his kind of apartment now.
Yep.
But he'll probably see about getting some sort of like desert goggles and maybe like a scarf for covering his neck if he needs and stuff like that, but also like cover his face during like a sandstorm and that kind of stuff.
Cool.
But other than that, I believe the code of Farch has like advantage on survival checks in extreme temperatures. So he's going to keep that because it goes both ways, hot and cold.
Yep.
He's just going to basically focus on like utility gear.
Very cool.
Make sure we're set up.
Butthole's going to walk out like a Quinny and be like, oh, it's hot here, right? Oh,
yeah.
And he's gonna go trade his giant fur coat for his like survivalist coat and some desert wrappings. Really,
I was just gonna let it ride,
really
but
sink the desert.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been really stupid.
All right, Juniper, how about you?
I think Juniper, she doesn't know how what she's going to have to change into or anything, so I think it's going with the old standby, the armor, blinged in stone.
Yep.
That morphs to her body.
Great. So yeah, the hammerers show up in just kind of standard adventurer gear. It's very stripped down. Also, these are rough and tumble folks. Their goal isn't to let armor take the hits. It's to do the hits fast enough that the armor doesn't really matter. So they're comfortable enough in this. They kind of honestly look like a bunch of like brawling sailor types at this point, but ready to kind of travel light and hit as they need to. Crendon similarly has dressed down. He's got sort of closer to what he wore with the fries, so just very functional gear. He's obviously like stripped off the logos for that unit, but similar to Butthole's initial instinct, just like, yeah, I'm not going to wear a fucking like a COD general suit out in the world on adventures. So they arrive, are ready to go. Forgive me, are you bringing Doc? No, Doc Huckleberry's staying as a butler.
Crendon.
You bring Crendon. Yeah, so Crendon's ready to go. And other than that, horses are packed. Everything is ready to rock. It's time for you guys to get back on the road again for the first time in a long time. Any final kind of orders or things you want to leave standing?
Quinny wants to go see Ginny real quick. I can't remember if he gave her the snow globe that he bought from the gift shop in Aka to like give to her. I don't think it came up.
No,
so, yeah,
she was too busy dealing with the impending crown she might have to wear.
Yeah. He would want to just basically drop by, let her know what's up, that he's got to go for a while, and be like, here, I got you this while I was here in Aka, and I actually paid for it. Did not steal
What?
it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You paid? You can do that?
Apparently, I am capable. Yeah.
Was that like a leveling thing? Did you gain that skill?
It felt like holding in a sneeze. It like really messed my sinuses up.
Wow. Well, this is very, very cute and very cool and kind of weird. Did you know? Did you be like conquering the place when you got it, or did you just buy it in case?
I just thought like snow globe souvenir. No matter what happens, a little something for you.
No, that's super cool. Thank you for that. Yeah. That's super. So wait, so you're just gonna like bring me stuff from wherever you go now? Is that?
I was thinking about it.
Well, that's kind of nice.
I didn't actually get a chance to ask you last time. Is there anything you'd like me to keep an eye out for in Sembia?
I don't really know anything about it. I just kind of heard about it. It sounds.
Well, like, what do you like?
I mean, you remember Quintown? Like, I don't really know. I'm kind of figuring that out. There wasn't a lot there. Aside from, like root vegetables and pies, obviously, which are great, and like knives and traps, but I'm kind of good at building those now. And it seems like gestures to hell world around. Like, also, it feels like this place is just kind of dirty with those. So I'm not so worried about that. But no, this is like, I would never have picked this thing. This thing's like super non-functional and kind of weird, which I like. It's a fun, useless thing to have.
I think it's just for looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. It's like, what a waste of space in a bag. But I guess on a shelf, it's pretty cool. And I maybe own this castle one day, and there's a lot of rooms. And I don't really want that old dead lich's shit, so I'll have to clear all that out. I don't know why. I'm sure he's dealing with other stuff. But okay. So no, you just give me something you think is fun. This is fun. This is more fun than me being like, here's a festive list of things to buy me. Like Cool. But hey, this isn't like before though, right? This isn't like a scary, we're not coming back.
No, just like a huge population of undead to deal with. They explode. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there.
They're just like, so they're like all the undead that were around before. They just got missed.
No, they're like doing their own processes, is what I'm hearing. But
they're in therapy. What the fuck does that mean?
We're gonna go look and find out
really
and fix
weird.
it. Yeah,
And you hear a knock on the door.
yeah.
Oh, Quinny, you're here. I just wanted to say, Ginny, like, we're leaving, so if I die and then Reginald dies, you're the heir. Remember that.
Cool. Goodbye, Uncle Butthole.
Oh, no problem. And I was going to check, but, I mean, you're here. I was looking for you for part
What's
of this.
up?
Just make sure that you say, like, appropriate goodbyes, because we could all die while we're away. So, like, just make sure that, like, it's good that you're here. I mean, clearly you thought of this already. So, like, don't worry, Ginny. We're all going to be fine. I'll bring him back if he gets smushed or whatever. I don't think he's promised his soul to, like, some sort of weird devil. So we're good.
Cool. That's pretty great. Hey, Uncle Butthole. First of all, second, speaking of taking care of people and bringing them back, how are your processes, not undead, going with, processing all of this shit? Because I appreciate you guys could all like die with your gun and everything, but like you're alive right now, and I'm pretty sure Dad's not going to help you with this. So You working on it, or are you just kind of putting it on a shelf like this cool snow globe Dad got me?
Well, I got to go hug your dad's parents because that's part of the tax that I
Yeah.
pay for them being part of the education system. And then I'm going to go prevent us all from dying.
Oh, yeah, okay, I like that second part. Check your pockets after those hugs. Sometimes they will slip small pastries into your pockets, and if you don't know, you will sit on them, and you will look quite the fool.
If you hug them longer, do you get more pastries?
I've tested this, and generally, no. They kind of prepared like a shot, and then they're out of ammo, kind of. If you hug them long enough, I guess they could discreetly bake more. But I've never done it that long.
Grandma referred to it as a tester, where I think she's, like she, yeah, I mean, like, yeah. So you could hold out for more. You could also just ask. I think they're just kind of baking all the time.
Yeah.
Grandpa won't stop baking.
On second thought, if I hug someone for too long, I might feel something, and that's not going to work. So I'm just going to go. If we die, we'll be fine. Or if not, say goodbye. And he leaves awkwardly. He doesn't have family. He's not equipped for any of these conversations. He's just heard about how they're supposed to go from mercenaries who may have been fucking with him.
Oh, okay.
It's scary to me that Reginald is making more sense than he is these days. Can you,
He's got a lot on his plate. I'm trying to, talk to him when I can, but we're also, we all got a lot of big jobs right now. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just worry about him.
There's another knock on the door.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you mind? Juniper just kind of sidles in. It's like, I just wanted a quick word with Ginny, just because I know the line of succession and everything, just in
if
case
y'all die, I'm the fucking
anything
Jesus
happens. Just
Christ.
remember future freedoms, all of that stuff. I know Annan's got it pretty well in hand, but just if you have any questions about the spirit of the law or anything you wanted to know,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of questions, really, a lot of questions about all the laws, really the kind of things that would be very helpful to have an alive Chief Justice for. So maybe just don't fucking die.
Oh, no, it definitely won't die.
Sure, but like line of succession stuff, like maybe just don't
Well,
die.
just in case.
Just in case, yeah, but like maybe just in case don't, and then it's not a problem.
I mean, sorry, Ginny, I didn't mean to scare you. It's like 100 undead. I think we'll be fine.
And just like slightly misty-eyed, she's like, I remember clearing out that town. It was less than that. You guys are so fucking cool. Okay, well, fine. I'm glad 100 dead isn't a real problem for you. Good luck with their processes, I guess. And yeah, I'll keep your laws or whatever until
Did
then.
you hear about the processes?
There was
'Cause I
talk
still
of
didn't
processes.
understand what that meant.
It's fine.
I think it means they're in therapy, but maybe not.
Oh.
We're going to go find out. We're going to go look at them.
Cool. Okay, well, goodbye. Assuming you all come back, goodbye for now. And if you all die, goodbye forever. You've all meant a lot to me. She leans out the host like, you too, Uncle Butthole. Yeah, okay. As your future queen, get thee hence. And then she just tries to do a regal hand gesture.
Yeah, okay. Goodbye, Juniper.
Oh, bye.
Okay.
Thanks again, Ginny, for just taking all this on. You're an incredible person, and she'll just turn around.
That's really nice. Juniper's a really nice person.
She is. They're both don't know how to talk to teenagers. Hang on a second. I look out the fucking hallway. Is anyone else going to come in
open
here?
the door and you see Farthole standing there.
And just, of course, yeah.
Your daughter here?
Yeah, come on in, I guess.
You're required to go through confession by the king. You gotta do that before you go, in case you die.
No,
You
I'm
gotta
not going
do
to
that-
die. It's going to be fine.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
So I'll hit you up when I get back.
No, I met a lot of people in hell who thought they weren't going to die, and then they did.
Or we can just talk about it in hell then.
No, you have to do confession. It's part of the law. Then after confession, I have to talk to her about confession. I don't understand the rules, but you both have to do confession. It's the law.
Okay, but you don't understand how confession works, is
No,
what you're
I
saying?
do. I don't understand how you two do confession together, but we do that after.
Okay, well, I can go stand outside my own room.
Thank you.
Holy shit, I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk. Okay.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, I think you might need this, Dad. It's cool.
Have a nice
Good luck.
time out there, future queen.
Also, she just goes and cracks.
Daughter of God.
She cracks the window for you, just in case he lives up to his name, and then closes the door.
So, what you got to confess when you do that so bad?
I don't know. I think I've been handling things pretty well. Some like I feel guilty about or what?
Yeah,
I've never
sure.
done confession.
Okay, well, what you do is you say the bad things you did, and then I tell you that they were bad, and then you feel better, I think. I'm a goblin. I'm kind of self-taught.
Okay, so
I have this form if you want to do the form.
yeah, give me the form. Let me look at this.
I read the form, you answer.
I can't just fill it out
No.
because that would take you out of this
Are you
whole
confessing
process,
to
and it
the
would be like, why
paper?
do we even have a religion?
You have
Got
to
it.
confess to me.
So what does the paper say then?
All right.
Fart hole.
Did you, how long has it been since your last confession?
I've never had one my entire life.
Oh, wow, that's long.
Yeah.
How long you been alive?
I'm like 32 now.
Oh my God, that's like 10 goblins' whole lives. Okay, so it's been a long time. Been 3 goblins since previous confession.
You're measuring time in goblins?
I mean, the scale you chose is so long, I have to. What am I going to measure it in? Days? You crazy, Quinny. Okay, so did you do a murder?
I did in 3 goblins worth of time?
I don't know. You're supposed to have done this before. The sheet is not equipped for 3 goblins. How many murders do you think you did? But
Oh,
like
man,
ones
like-
that weren't in self-defense, we're gonna cover some bases.
Like
again,
fart
this
hole,
is-
like 20 goblins at least.
No, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, is that just goblins or total?
No, I'm trying to measure stuff the way you do with
Oh,
goblins.
how much?
So how much is a goblin?
In terms of the value of a goblin life?
Well, a value of a goblin life in time it seems like 10 years
yeah,
per
because most
goblin.
goblins only live 10 years and they're too old. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So then 10 times 20, so 200, I guess.
That's how you killed 200 people?
I'm not keeping track. That's maybe.
You gotta, okay, first of all, you gotta start keeping track. Otherwise, confession's no confusing.
That's going to get in the way of killing.
Yeah, that's the point of confession.
Am I to understand?
Do less killing.
Do less?
Do less.
That's like
How much killing do you think you're doing? On a scale of 0 to a rock.
a rock, I think.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's a lot
I
of killing.
try. I feel like I'm pretty good at it.
See, because I say rock because all the other weapons that my people make break so easy.
Yeah.
Whereas a rock lasts forever. That's so many kills.
Okay, yeah, that
And
sounds right. That sounds good.
Did you do them and feel sad, or did you do them and have happiness in your heart?
Maybe something in between. Sometimes happy because it was like they were bad people.
How many
and I
of
got
them
to,
do you think were the happy?
How many are you crying?
I'm having a time.
Okay.
I'm so sad about your soul.
Oh, okay.
You've done so many kills.
I have, yeah.
And I bet a bunch of them weren't even cool.
I mean, if they weren't, then those would be the ones that I'd be sad about.
Okay, so how many uncool kills do you think you did? And you better not lie.
I'm not trying to lie.
confession.
You're asking me to, account for something I really wasn't keeping track of, but
I bet you know every uncool kill you ever did. If you're
I
ashamed,
try
you
not
know.
to think about them.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, you
wanna
get
do-
an opportunity to kill someone in a cool way, and if you botch it, then that's like you can't kill them again.
Yeah.
That's one and done. So
It's a lost opportunity.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was, you know what? Maybe you can't remember all of them. So let's choose some symbolic ones, and you can be sorry for those.
All right.
So I would say of all your uncool kills,
Yeah.
what are the 3 worst last lines you said? Try to put it. You know how you try to put a tag on it, and make it cool.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
I bet at least 3 of them you pooped the bed. So
Yeah.
give me the worst 3 things you said to the person right before they die,
Yeah. Okay.
or immediately afterwards, just to yourself under your breath.
There was one guy who, he said like, "Who are you?" And I was like, I'm your dream guy. I'm your worst night. You dream about me." Was I think the exact quote that I used, and I just did not like. It's like I was trying to say like your worst nightmare, right? Like it's like a classic line.
Yeah, you want to be spoopy.
But I tried to like spin it a little because like everyone says it, so I wanted to be like extra. But I just told him that I was his dream guy. And
Yeah,
I
that
just
sounds like
feel
you're in love with him.
yeah, which gave me the element of surprise when he bought it. But I didn't feel like I needed it.
And who was he?
Oh, who knows? Who remembers?
This is just a guy in an alley that you went up to, flirted with, and murdered. Are you a serial killer, Quinny?
No, maybe I need to examine that. What makes a serial killer?
Usually you have to have killed 3 or more victims with a cooldown period in between and no specific reason. It doesn't count if you do it for work. That just makes you a hitman.
Oh, well, I
Like
mean,
soldiers do that on the battlefield, but just like for, you walk around, you're like, I don't know what to do. It's a Tuesday. So then you go out and you're like, this person seems like, okay, kill. And then you're like, That was exciting.
I don't do
and
a
then
lot
you
of
do
those.
a cool down.
I did
And you're
do
like,
one.
take a breather.
I did do one of those recently, but it was an Aka person who was like a slime. Ooze man.
That's still a kill. That one goes on the list.
Yeah, no, that one, he didn't like wrong me personally or anything like that, but he was like part of an occupying force. He was a necromancer, like, doing like
That feels
dead
like a lot of
wizard stuff.
justification for you to just kill someone to make yourself feel alive.
Wasn't make me to feel alive, it was just make me feel better about having lost a friend.
Yeah, see, this is why confession works, and we use the sheet because we answer all those questions and we get to hear, which is you should feel alive without having to kill anybody. Death is the opposite of life.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but how would you embrace death to get more life?
To stop the other bad people from taking other people's lives.
No, see, you're deflecting again because you said you did this one so you would feel more alive, which meant you didn't do it for
so I
moral
would feel
reasons.
better. I feel the same level of alive. I was in a bad mood, and killing him helped me process like grief.
So where did you start and where did you end up?
Where did I start and where did I end up? Emotionally, I was like sad and confused because I didn't understand what was going on with Gary and what he was thinking about when he died.
All right, that'd be sad.
And I was like sad about like not getting to talk to him again.
Sad.
And just knowing that it like happened here in this city with all of these fuckers around. And so
you
it
want
was
to be
just
close
like,
to friends when he dies. Yeah.
well, yeah. And so
No
I
one
was
did
like,
that so
I'm going
alone.
to take out one of these guys for Gary kind of thing. Yeah.
But were you really doing it for Gary or were you maybe doing it for you?
I mean, for
you said at the
me, but in the name of like as revenge against Gary.
Do you realize-
revenge for Gary?
Do you
but
realize
for me?
that I feel like you're one of those guys who's like a good liar, so you can come up with a story for anything. But
Honestly,
at the start of this,
I'm not trying to lie to you right now, because I feel like if someone found out, fucking butthole, then this whole thing would just be an even bigger pain in the ass next time.
that's interesting because that means then you lied to yourself. Because you said at the beginning that you killed this guy to make yourself feel better, and then at the
Yeah.
end you said, "I'm doing it for Gary," but
Yeah.
that doesn't help you feel better.
I
That does
did
help
feel better.
Gary.
I
I met Gary. He don't know this even happened. He was in Bahala.
how is he?
He seemed fine.
Oh, can I talk to him?
No.
Oh.
Unless you keep doing confession, and then when you die, you go Bahala.
All right.
So,
Well, how are we doing?
well, we're halfway
many-
through the sheet.
I was gonna say, how many more
next
questions you got for me?
Next question. Have you done a fornication?
Have I done a fornication like sex?
Yeah, that's
yes,
I think.
I've had sex.
What kind?
What are the options on the sheet?
The sheet just, it's a box I can fill in.
Oh,
Yeah, so you tell me. I'm writing it down. Don't worry, after confession, I have to eat this.
why?
Because it goes straight to Butthole. No one knows. Confession just between you and me. Unless you do bad, then I have to tell Butthole.
Doesn't sound. But confession's just about me telling you the bad I did.
Then you have to feel bad about it and do better. I tell you how, though. So tell me the bad.
The bad
What-
being
what-
what kind of sex I've had?
Yeah, I mean, which parts of it do you think were bad?
None of it, really. I enjoyed all of it.
Oh, the no sin there. Good job on
Oh, great.
fornication.
Okay.
You do any stealing?
Oh yeah.
Actually, that one on this form just says it's fine.
Oh great.
The Butthole seems not to have cared so much, and
No.
most other churches are cool with
So
it.
why is it on a confession thing?
I didn't write the sheet.
I feel like that's a bit of a cop out.
I borrowed it.
From who?
Okay, I made it up.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's blank.
Show me that. I was gonna say yeah.
There's nothing on here, but I tried to write the
Yeah.
sex.
What have you written there? You've drawn 3 goblins.
I wrote 3 goblins, and then I wrote 0 to rock. And then I
And then
wrote
you
down,
circled the rock
well, yeah,
because that was my answer. I see. Okay.
it was also a drawing of a rock.
Right. I
Don't
see
judge me. I'm not here to answer to you.
All right.
You have done 15 sins. All of them very bad.
Okay. Can you name the 15 sins? Just rattle them off for me real quick.
You did a murder just to feel better. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
You did at least 3 uncool kills. You
Oh,
don't know
we're
how
grouping
many
them. Okay.
murders you did. Part of your fornicated seemed bad. Maybe you lie about it. You lied to me. You lied to yourself.
Yeah.
You're here because you did murder you're not supposed to do. So you're in trouble.
Okay. Yeah.
You do lots of stealing, which is not a sin, but I bet you stole from friends before, and that's a sin.
true. If we're doing the first confession, yeah, then that's one that I do feel bad about now.
I
Yeah.
bet you were disrespectful to your parents.
I mean, they got over it, but I guess.
Yeah, that's different. That's them being good, not you being good.
Well, then
They got over it.
I
Doesn't mean you
shouldn't
did a
have to
good
feel
job.
bad about it, right?
Yeah, you do, because you have to realize that you owe them a debt and then pay it back.
Confession
On the
sucks.
list of sins, you try to help your friends after they're dead by murdering people. That doesn't seem like a good habit.
Well,
Do better.
do better. Yeah.
You don't praise Butthole or Moonhammer.
I do not, and I will not.
Yeah, so you're a heathen.
All right.
Then maybe you don't get to go to Butthole and you never get to see Gary again. How's that feel?
That feels like a fucking ripoff, and the whole system is bullshit.
Yeah, well, I don't know why I expect afterlife to be better than life. It's just called afterlife. It's not called better life.
I'm not saying it's
the
supposed to be
same
better.
shit.
I'm saying it sounds like some arbitrary rules that someone with a blank piece of paper is making up about who I do and don't get to see
Here's
when I
another
die.
sin. You don't respect the church or me, or you don't respect rules.
All right, so that's 14. Now we have 16 total.
And I'm going to say from outside knowledge, you didn't be a part of your daughter's life for like most of her life until now.
Yeah, I do feel bad about that. I feel bad about that, Ginny. I like yell at the closed door.
So I'm going to say you got to do 10 backflips. You got to steal 100 gold and give it to your daughter.
I gotta write this down.
You got to steal 100 gold and give it to your parents. And you got to say, sorry for the stuff I did, but in your own words, don't have to use my words. You got to not do murders to try to feel bitter anymore, because that shit is weird.
Have you even tried it?
Listen, Quinny, I'm a goblin. I killed so many things.
Okay.
10 years is plenty of time for the murders, and I'm on year 11.
Oh, wow. You're an old goblin.
I'm old as hell.
Okay.
And for the final thing, you got to help me figure out a form for confessions next time. I feel like I asked good questions, but I can't remember them all. So I need you to write down the questions that felt good for you and felt like they help you become a better person.
I like the accusations more than anything, but I guess that's not what confession's about.
It could be between you and me.
If you just come in and just start being like,
I'll
hey,
come in hot.
I don't like, you're a bad person for these reasons, to just like anyone who needs confession, like I feel like that saves a lot of time. They don't have to tell you anything. You just say, you're bad.
Yeah, but I got to make sure I don't miss nothing.
Okay.
Okay, what if we will sit down before and you tell me the stuff that you want me to yell at you about, and then I'll just fucking go off.
All right, I mean, that still sounds just like confession, but we've added a step now of you berating me, but you're doing it anyway.
Well,
so.
you said it was your favorite part. I don't want to lay you down.
Well, it took because it took the work out of it for me. But so 100 gold for my daughter, 100 gold for my parents, 10 backflips. Did I miss anything?
Yeah, and I would say you have to do something uncool to make someone else look cool. That's how you can help people do better while they're alive, which is the best time to help them do better.
Well, why do I have to look uncool, making someone else look cool? We can both look cool.
Yeah, that's about you. That's not about them. You gotta show that you have humility.
Oh my god! I have to show humility by being uncool.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say? You have to make someone else the hero of this adventure.
Oh,
Not you.
motherfucking this
At
again.
the end, well, I don't want to hear no Quinny highlight reel. I don't want to hear it when people come back from Sembia. They're like, "Ooh, Quinny did all these cool backflips and he saved the kingdom," and everyone else just stood around and looked like a dump. No,
Okay, and just so I
I want
understand,
everyone else to sound cool, and I want no one to remember you. That's how we show you're a hero.
right? Okay. And if I don't do these things, I just want to understand, like, what's.
I'm gonna have to tell Butthole that you're not going confession. You're just being a bad boy.
I am going to confession. This is confession. We did it.
You wait. Confession involves you being sorry and doing what you're told.
Being sorry and doing what you're told. This is gonna take up all my fucking free time.
Yeah, you gotta be sorry for things. It's been 3 goblins. The next one will be shorter, but you gotta make up for the goblins.
Oh my god!
You could have gone to a priest any time you did it. That's why you had to go legally, and now
No,
this
because
happened.
religion is stupid.
Hey,
What?
12 backflips.
Let's make it 15.
Let's make it 25.
Let's make it 30.
100.
Maybe I'll shut my mouth.
Great. Start now.
That's it.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and and Chiefs by Jazzar, Jahzzar, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum Dums and Dragons. Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia de los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Nomad, the Wise Paladin of the Badlands, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Old Man Mojo, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.